Oh,
There we go. I had no
so
audio
slow
the whole
and
time.
Solo quality.
Sorry about that, guys.
Terrible.
All right, well, we broke on our first race, so there's that. That's how we're going to start our evening. Uh, 30 minutes. Okay, just chilling.
Came up short today. Feels like I fell 1,000 times. Nothing but doubt to flood my mind. 'Cause sometimes it's hard to remember why I ever started racing with my dreams. A restless December, feeling I was meant for more than I believed. I'll never surrender, rather try and fail and fall 1,000,000 times. I'm on my way.
The best breakfast in town right there. Place been there a long, long time. Good food. We're in the Go Bowling at the Glen. Stage 2 of 12 of working 12 of 30 laps. Shane Van Gisbergen has led all but 3. The 3 laps after he pitted under green, surrendering the lead to Ross Chastain, who won the stage. Chastain,
So bad.
when we last checked on him, was in 18th place, and that's where he runs right now. As Van Gisbergen and Zilich are 1-2. Larry?
Yeah, Mike, I've been looking at the data on Van Gisbergen in the 97 and Zilich in the 88 as far as throttle, brake, shift points. They pretty much are overlaying. But when I look at differential around the racetrack, they're pretty equal. But just like qualifying yesterday, Gisbergen has the advantages, especially from the middle of the bus stop off. He gets through it and gets off a little better than Connor Zilich.
You know what, though? I am impressed with Connor Zilich. I know they're in the same equipment, same race cars, but he is keeping him honest. That's a 99 to a 95. It was a 63 to a 61. They have been right there, but Kevin, you know as well as I do, the closer you run to that race car, the more you wear your stuff out.
Yeah, everything gets hot, and I think that's why you're going to see Connor Zilich dip out right here when you get to the straightaway, just to try to get a breath of air every once in a while. Sometimes you'll do that to make the guy think that you're looking inside, but I'm not so sure that those types of tricks aren't going to work on the 97 car of SVG. Regan?
Well, Kevin, when you see the 88 car of Connor Zilich running in second place right there, this is almost a perfect scenario for what he and the team wanted for today. The goal was to get in a position to where they could be behind Shane Van Gisbergen, follow him, figure out exactly how to pace these tires in this Cup car, which is different than the cars that he's been running up until this point at Watkins Glen. Right now, he's just told the team that, yes, I am managing my brakes, I'm managing my tires. They've been on the radio continuously reminding him about that. And when you think about the pressure that 88 team is under to have a good performance today, they told me all that matters to us is to make sure Connor is having fun. The rest will take care of itself. Josh?
Well, Ty Gibbs currently running in the 4th position. Traditionally, he's been good on road courses, but they've had their struggles here at Watkins Glen. Just one top 10 finish for Ty Gibbs here. So
Nick, what are you racing, brother?
a number of areas they can get better at, and one of those is setting up
Beamers.
a little bit better. They've been too
Beamers.
in the past. Came over the radio at the end of that first run, said once again he was just too free to make the moves that he wants to in this race. The team also reminding him that this stage 5 laps longer to preserve his tires.
These things will make you better.
Josh just behind him.
I can tell.
Reddick in the 45, up 10 spots since the start of this race. This has been
We're
a
rolling
challenging
here.
road course for Tyler, and I talked to his crew chief, Billy Scott. He said they applied something at Circuit of the Americas earlier in the season that worked. Obviously, he went to victory lane. They were able to apply that here.
Dude,
So far, so good.
Van Gissenbergen or whatever, ripping at Watkins Glen. Ripping.
Made an air pressure adjustment to
God. I mean,
always ripping, dude.
P25 to P1.
That's all he's good at, though.
But people were, he was freaking out. He's like, oh, fuck.
He's like only good at red courses.
Oh! Why doesn't he go race like a Porsche then?
He did. I think that's where he came from.
Porsche?
Yeah. NASCAR pays way more, probably.
Oh, for sure.
One of the most important sections on the racetrack based upon the running order and fastest bus stops times. They're identical.
38 drivers, all still on the lead lap. We're running lap 14 of 30 in stage 2 of 3.
I feel like it's like right in my eyeballs. All right, I'm trying to watch like some like Talladega shit. You know what I mean? I want to watch some like drafting.
Clements.
Oh, here we go. We can watch Phoenix, and I'm running, and I'm on the Phoenix track too. There we go.
Unloaded fast.
This is good.
Hanging top right here.
Remember, Hocevar to the rear for alternator trouble. Everybody else on the inside lane moves up a row. Here they come out of turn number 4. Green flag, and the Straight Talk Wireless 500 is underway.
It won't take long. There they go. Way down on the apron for Byron.
Can you cut down on the Arizona track?
Well, they all made it, so that's the first accomplishment of
I didn't know you were supposed to do that.
all that chaos, and now these guys are trying to feel
So you're not supposed to ride the 3 and 4 all the way out?
Yeah, you can cut down like crazy. That's a little advanced, though.
And does it like, and you could, your car could wash out easier because it's flat and it's not vertical.
Kevin, you mentioned how hard it is on the car and on the driver, dropping down and hitting that apron.
I don't really remember. I haven't ran at the time.
They're talking about it right now on the, I'm watching it.
Winds up taking all the load and not the suspension, so that damages that tire.
If you do it, they're saying it damages a tire, so it's like, is the risk reward worth it, you know?
In the race, you just don't have a choice. You've got to go down there to protect your position or gain a position, because if you don't, somebody else will.
Now out in front of the leaders, Zane Smith, in addition to having to start at the rear for unapproved adjustments, also had to do a pass-through penalty under green to start the race. So he'll be in danger of having a lap down to Joey Logano here.
These two right here can't get it sorted out. William Byron has been working on Suarez. By the way, Daniel Suarez in that Spire Motorsports car, unloaded fast and is hanging tough right here. They are working hard door to door.
Yeah, and what a great qualifying effort by Suarez. And now you see him under fire from William Byron on the inside right there. But we expect William Byron to be a contender along with that car right behind them, Ryan Blaney.
He won't go away. And every lap they do, they see move up and look, open the door for Blaney. Try to move him up the racetrack, but Suarez will not go away. Every lap they do that, it slows him down and gives somebody else an opportunity, and that is Blaney.
Reddick, the black car, trying to advance here on Ross Chastain. 5 cars in a very tight pile here. And they're about to be joined by another Denny Hamlin in the 11.
Yeah, we haven't talked much about Denny Hamlin, but he absolutely dominated this race last year. It's been really quiet on the driver's side for Denny Hamlin and what we expect him to do. But on the ownership side, it's been really good.
Kevin, you told us and you asked Logano. We heard Logano tell us that that outside would open up, and it's on display right there with Reddick rolling right around the 24.
Clear, all clear.
Yeah, and you see this on board with this Bob's Discount Furniture camera and on board of Denny Hamlin. He's able to get through the center of the corner. You got to be able to turn the car at the end of the first third of the corner to be able to get through that center of the corner. And these guys are going to have a lot of options on this end of the racetrack down here in 1 and 2. You heard Joey Logano refer to it to start the race about this track really widening out. On a hot day like this, at this particular racetrack, you've got to have a versatile car because you can't just ride right behind them in one line.
Ooh. Now Carson Hocevar, we mentioned, had to start in the rear because of that alternator change. He's picked up 8 spots already. He had qualified 7th. And there's that 77 headed back toward the front.
And that makes for a long day. He had a great qualifying effort, as his Spire teammates did as well. But when you put that car in the back of the pack, it takes that opportunity to probably score stage points in the first stage. We talk so much about points. As you see the 41 car on Cole Custer lock that left front tire. Easy to do right there.
Kevin, all right. I heard you say you have to have a versatile car, be able to move around a racetrack. You can't go through them. You got to go around them, go where they're not. When you're running that outside versus the bottom, walk us through what it takes driving-wise behind the wheel to drive that different line.
Well, when you're going to run the top line here, you have to still drive the car into the corner, and it's a really unique situation because in these cars, the bottom or the top, you transfer from the brake. As soon as you get off the brake, you don't want to have any time between when you touch the throttle. So a lot of partial throttle. You adjust that from the bottom of the racetrack to the top and how far you carry that.
Still down there, 77.
Larry?
Yeah, I've been watching these guys shifting, and they're going between 3rd and 4th, and now that the pace has slowed down, what Kyle Larson is doing, he is staying in 3rd gear off of turn 2 down the back straightaway where Logano and Cindric are actually going to high. Larson is staying in 3rd all the way down the back straightaway through 3 and 4.
Yeah, and it's actually from 4th to 5th right there. And for me, I always like to leave it in 4th gear down the back straightaway because it kept me from overdriving the corner. See right there, Larson left it in 4th gear that lap. If you leave it in 5th gear, I always thought that it made the car tighter getting in the corner and you were harder on those front tires. So as they go from new tires and get more laps on these tires, you'll start seeing more and more of them leave it in 4th gear.
Well, they better find a better gear because this 12 car is in high gear. That thing is flying, guys. Blaney on the move.
Yeah, and when you get a little gap in between cars, you're going to see a lot of guys make up lap time until they catch somebody to a certain distance. But Blaney's notorious for being able to turn the center of the corner better and make better lap time on these long runs.
Big weekend for Roger Penske. He was the keynote speaker at a big dinner Friday night to raise several $100,000 for Folds of Honor, and all the Penske IndyCar and NASCAR teams were all honored at the 60th anniversary of Team Penske celebration last night. All that happening up at the Penske complex in North Scottsdale. Roger must be smiling now. He's got the top 3 spots: Logano, Cindric, Blaney, with Larson Chevy in 4th and Tyler Reddick's Toyota moving up past Suarez to 5th. 14 of 60 laps complete in stage 1 in the Arizona desert.
On me. Come on, baby.
didn't win, so he's here. Pressure's back on them.
We're talking about these cars up front here. Who's off the pace? Kyle Busch is definitely one of them.
P6. Take it.
Kyle Busch, Anthony Alfredo. This could be the opportunity for Blaney looking to the inside.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised right there that Logano didn't go to the bottom of the racetrack to try to defend. He obviously feels pretty comfortable that he's going to get a run off the corner like he did right there, using that second lane.
He's slowed that momentum down. He's caught.
Yes.
He did.
That's better.
You see 12 swivel down there if he ran 3 lanes up the racetrack. So anything he can do.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the same probably. Okay.
Okay.
Still ripping that Beamer, by the way. Fucking starting to get it down too.
That's
I like
crazy.
it.
Weird for that one. I'm not gonna lie.
It's loose. It's hard.
Just too,
Not-
I just don't. I can't get a feel for the car at all. It's just weird.
Not for the faint of heart.
Yep. For Porsche. Alright, see. See, Chris.
Finally got to that outside. Here he comes. It's exactly what he was wanting, but 3 wide in front. There we go. No exception. Exactly what he needed.
Kyle Busch. Here's Larson's radio.
Hey, Mike, I feel like I'm going to spin out on the dog leg. That's how no grip I have.
Yep, 4, big change is coming. Keep holding on to it. I know you're fighting all you can.
Now that's a big change because Larson finished in the top 5 the last 3 races.
And this is what we talked about earlier. You get to the end of this stage where was this 22 car going to shut off? Was the 12 going to shut off? Who would start moving their way forward? And the strength at the end of these stages, this is the shortest stage that we're going to have all day, are these Toyotas and moving themselves forward to have a chance at Ryan Blaney.
And what a mess in front of them. Lappers everywhere trying to hold on to stay on that lead lap or to be the lucky dog. Very important right here.
You're going to be locked down to the bottom lane. 1 back, 2 to go. Drop, drop. Headlight lower, still lower by half. Lower, inside, inside Bell.
Lots of traffic.
Yeah,
Bell right there
and Bell
for the spot.
Yeah, he pins him on the outside right there behind that 88 car of Connor Zillage. So he's going to lose another spot right here at the end of this stage.
Last lap, stage 1. Last fall, stage 1 went caution-free. Looks like it's going to happen again here.
It's good racing, though, so far in this race. There's been a lot of movement, a lot of people struggling with their cars, and some people really capitalizing.
And I really love how they can move around the racetrack. It gives you a lot of options as to what you need to do.
Ty Dillon trying to stay on the lead lap here. And that will happen as Ryan Blaney wins the stage. His 6th stage win at Phoenix, his most of all tracks. Must be the mustache, right? Ryan Blaney for Team Penske and Ford scores the stage win.
First and foremost, what is it that Michael Jordan brings to that organization?
There's just no moment too big to perform in. He's been there, he's done that, and he brings that aura that just greatness follows. And when you have the momentum, you have an owner owners that expect to win with Michael Jordan and Denny Hamlin, I think that it becomes easier.
Check out the all-new Fox Sports digital show Speed with Harvick and Buxton, fueled by Poet. Subscribe to Speed on Fox, on YouTube, the Fox Sports app, or wherever you find your podcasts. Stage 1 complete. Blaney the winner. Daniel Suarez gets his best stage finish here ever. Let's check with Jamie.
Well, Mike, Tyler Reddick obviously been the man of the year, winning the first 3 races. And we know that the drivers, they get most of the attention, right? But in NASCAR, it truly is a team sport, including the pit crew. And Tyler Reddick's pit crew has nailed it so far this season. Let's meet Team 45.
Hunter Masling, front tire changer from Marksville, Louisiana, 2026 Daytona 500 champion.
Dakota Ratcliffe, rear tire changer, Daytona 500 champion.
Wade Moore, tire carrier, 2311 fantasy football commissioner.
Brandon Banks, Jackman, USC Charlotte's first inaugural team and NFL for Washington Commanders.
Brian Deal, fueler, over 30 cup wins.
Well, they are living large on the strength of 3 victories in the first 3 races of this season.
Tricky pit road right here, Mike. Got that corner, had the most speeding penalties in the Gen 7 car.
And here's Regan.
Mike, the 12 car, Ryan Blaney, been very good to start the race. Biggest concern with him, wants the rears to stay with him longer all the way through the corner. In the 45 of Tyler Reddick in the bottom left, we just met his team as they go to work right now. Starts off okay, but it migrates too loose for him, and he was plus 10 to the front on the brake bias. Jamie?
Christopher Bell, so far so good for the 20 car. Took off tight, said the rears are actually good. Moved up 10 spots there. Joey Logano led a handful of laps early. Lost the lead, though. Needs more turn through the center. That's where he was beat, Mike.
And Logano comes out second to Bell in the race off pit road.
Thank you, boys. Christopher Bell.
Then Blaney, Hamlin, and Reddick. Well, it's an IndyCar NASCAR doubleheader, and we have guests in the booth coming up for stage 2. And downstairs, Chris and Jamie will have guests as well.
Time for a race break. We're live here in Phoenix with Jamie McMurray, Chris Myers from Victory Lane, a couple of Penske drivers from the IndyCar Series, David Malukas, who led the most laps in the IndyCar race yesterday, and of course the veteran Scott McLaughlin. Thank you both for stopping in. Team Penske guys, by the way, and already Ryan Blaney getting that first stage. So what are your observations here so far for your colleagues in NASCAR?
I tell you that the Penske boys look quick. The 12 car is always quick, as we know around here. So I've seen them win a championship around here. So it's pretty cool to be here and be here again on the doubleheader weekend with Team Penske and IndyCar.
I want to know your perception of just the Cup cars on the track, because when I got here on Friday, I saw the Indy cars go out, and my first thing was they're quiet, and then I saw them on the track, and I'm like, and they're really fast. What stuck out to you that maybe you didn't recognize?
I mean, this is my first NASCAR race since I was just, still picking my nose and playing with Hot Wheels. I mean, this is so cool, so loud, the energy. I mean, they're going through the dog leg. They're choosing whatever lane they want. I mean, it is awesome. It is so cool to see all the strategy and which lane to use. I'm having a fantastic time out there.
There's no out of bounds.
From Chicago and New Zealand, but in Charlotte. I know you played golf with Ryan Blaney, and of course you've raced in the Legends cars with Bubba Wallace, who's currently 15th. But let's head back upstairs. Some familiar faces as a special guest joins Mike and the guys in the booth.
Thank you, Chris. James Hinchcliffe, Townsend Bell are with us after calling the IndyCar race yesterday on Fox. And yesterday, Clint Boyer rode in the two-seater. And I got to ask, I know you gave him advice before he hopped in there. Was it good advice or bad advice?
Well, we lied to him.
Don't ask them. I'll tell you, it was terrible advice.
We downplayed it a little bit, but I got to say the soundbite we got out of him was gold.
That was exactly what you were looking for.
100%.
I appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
I was set up, Mike.
How was the ride?
My favorite part is you were really uncomfortable before you even started.
I felt I couldn't figure out what I was in. It was kind of like between a bobsled, as I said, right, Townsend, and then an airplane, because there's wings everywhere.
I like that you pointed out that your driver, Gabby Chavez, was short enough that you felt you could just reach over his shoulders if you needed to and take over. But I thought you were just playing up to the camera, but you were legitimately pretty nervous about that because those things are pretty quick.
Yeah, that rocket went way too fast. And I thought we were going to parade the field, right? I thought we were going to go around, get our feet wet a little bit, let the tires warm up. My gosh, the tires. And as soon as it started, I think the throttle stuck, and we never lifted.
You're getting old.
All right, Townsend, you've called the trucks at St. Pete. The NASCAR stuff is a little new for you. First impressions?
Well, I was just hanging out before we came into this booth. We were next door with Larry McReynolds. And what I find so fascinating about NASCAR is the live telemetry that comes off these cars that every team has the ability to study. And what I was looking at was the inputs on the pedals, specifically Joey Logano. So impressed with how nuanced and finessed his brake and throttle inputs are. That guy is smooth.
All right, to finish up pit stops, Larson too fast exiting. He restarts in the back. Ryan Preece slow on the left rear. Michael McDowell gained 8 spots in the pits. We're back to green as they fan out all across the racetrack.
Well, we've got a new player up front with the 20 car of Christopher Bell. He had a great pit stop, able to get in front of Joey Logano. And that is the one thing that Joey Logano does not want to see is a car in front of him. We've talked about how they struggle a little bit in traffic, and now he's going to have to battle here with Christopher Bell.
And his teammate as well. You can see Denny right behind him. Go back to the pit stop. Blaney having that stall on the backstretch. A little bit problematic for him. Lost those 2 spots. Going to be harder to get after they make adjustments. But the crew on all those Gibbs cars very fast. Put Bell to the lead.
And we talked about that with the Penske cars, that they may struggle a little bit compared to those Gibbs pit crews. And we saw that right off the bat on that first pit stop. And even with Joey Logano having that first stall and that advantage of not having to go as far, didn't get them the track position that they had before.
Long run speed seems to be the Ford's strong suit here. Where are the Chevys? William Byron back in 8th place as the first Chevy in this race. It's all Toyota and Ford up front.
Yeah, and I think I would probably, I think as we get really far into the run, I would say that the Toyotas probably had the best long run speed. I think that Blaney's probably a little bit better than Joey Logano. I think when you put him in traffic like this, he's going to struggle a little bit more than Blaney because of that turn that we talked about that he's able to achieve.
I want to just keep moving back here. We talked about them, the big 3. Where's the Gibbs cars? They're here, guys. These Toyotas are extremely fast. Even the 19 of Briscoe and his teammate Gibbs on his outside racing right there. Briscoe started this race in 20th.
They're battling for 6th while Denny Hamlin is up to 4th. and looking over Joey Logano for third.
And I think we were probably a little naive to the fact that we got to remember, in this fall race, Denny Hamlin absolutely destroyed them throughout the whole race, except for the last pit stop. But he was the absolute dominant car. And I know that Joey Logano and Ryan Blaney have been the best cars, but as we got to the last 20 laps of that run, that started the shift, and now they're getting to start up front on this restart.
IndyCar guys, I wanted to ask you about the option of the dog leg, right? What do you think about us being able to do that?
Well, I mean, we watched the initial start from outside of 1 and 2, and I was floored. I don't know how the spotters can keep track. When you're 5 wide, what are they saying to? 2 down, 2 up, you're in the middle. For me, it's so...
Good luck.
It's just don't hit anything. It's so cool to see. Not even an option in an Indy car. That's an out-of-bounds thing for us. Not that the car could physically do it anyway, but it is quite spectacular to see it when you guys have these restarts.
I've been advocating for it on the IndyCar side just for the last lap. Like, maybe somebody goes for it and just see what happens. It's so bizarre for us to come here and watch guys run below the apron. At first look, you'd think somebody broke as you see the 45 of Reddick really work the line low to high there at the exit coming off turn 2. James, you told me after you drove your first truck race how surprised you were at the challenge of staying disciplined on when to get the throttle. It's just such a long time off throttle in these things. Talk about that.
Well, it's such a different technique to an Indy car, to an open wheel car. The way that these cars behave, the way these tires behave, like you say, the discipline that you've got to have. It's so easy to overdrive it. We kind of saw that out of Reddick right there a little bit.
Yeah, and these cars are a lot different than that truck. Like at this particular racetrack, you're going to initially spike the brake, bleed off of that brake, and you want to transition right to the throttle pedal to get that right rear loaded. With the independent suspension and the way that these cars are kind of funky. But here, that braking technique that you talked about, Townsend, with Joey Logano, that is something that is definitely the key to making your car put it to where you want it in the corner. So a lot of different styles depending on how your car is handling.
One of the guys that I've been watching is the 97 SVG. I was teammates with him at Daytona one year for the 24. And what's remarkable about him is he's a big guy. He has finesse like you wouldn't believe. He has the softest touch on the pedals. And I think in a stock car at, 3,400 pounds, you're controlling so much of the pitch of the car with your feet. I know he doesn't have stock car knowledge on the ovals. That's what he's building, but he knows the technique to be smooth.
He's got a high racing IQ,
Big
and
time.
that's what really matters. He's a quick learner, and I think as he knows that he needs to get better on the ovals, and when you challenge somebody with a racing IQ that high, they're going to figure it out.
He is in 13th position. Back at the stage break, Riley Herbst got the free pass, so he's back on the lead lap. 26 lead lap cars led by Christopher Bell, who won the last 2. 85 laps complete of the Straight Talk Wireless 500 at Phoenix. Christopher Bell out front, Ryan Blaney 1 second back, and Joey Logano about to fall into the clutches of Tyler Reddick for third.
Yeah, well, we saw him start moving up the racetrack, Clinton, and when you start moving up the racetrack like that, you're looking for one of those two things that we talked about earlier, either turn in the center or you're struggling on the exit, need to straighten that exit out. So,
and it's not just him, guys. Look at this. We have a brigade of Toyotas coming. He's going to have to fend them off because it's all of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, all the Gibbs cars and Reddick. Here they come. Changing of the guards. We saw the Penske cars really dominate most of that first stage. Not the case anymore. Larry, what do you got, buddy?
Yeah, we heard maybe about a little bit of tire wear in that stage right there. Remember, that was 60 laps. Now, this stage is 125 laps. We went back racing with 115. If the strategy works out, that means they'll split that stage in half, run about 55 to 60 laps. So really, that was about the longest run they may have, what we just ran in stage 1.
Talk to me about the race yesterday, guys. What was, as we saw the fall off in those Indy cars throughout that race, do they get tight? Do they lose rear grip? What do they fight?
I think it depends on the balance.
Yeah.
Whatever you've got is going to get worse. And one of the big things in the Indy cars is we've got those tools in the cockpit we can adjust the balance with as the run goes on. We also adjust it whether you're running in clean air up front, you're running behind 2 cars, running behind 10 cars. That's going to affect the balance in a big way because of the aerodynamics. So you're adjusting those tools throughout the run and throughout where you are in line.
The biggest adjustment we've done here, the difference between here and years past, guys, is the horsepower. You know, 80 horsepower more as we come back this time, and they're really having trouble with the rear grip, aren't they, Kev?
Yeah. Well, we'll give them a brake knob to adjust front to rear bias. That's about all you can have.
But I'm sure, like for you guys in the Indy cars, staying ahead of your tools is key. Don't wait for the tire to reveal its deficiency. Make the adjustment and don't let the front or the rear get to a point where it's sliding. I imagine the same with brake bias.
Well, riding along, speaking of brakes, you see Denny Hamlin and Bob's Discount Furniture, which I wish we would get a couch up here from so we could watch this race. I'll be a little bit more comfortable. But Kevin, walk us through the inputs.
Well, one interesting thing that I saw right there off of turn 2, watch how light his hand gets. You know when that thing starts to slide and you're trying to finesse it, you almost lighten your hand up. But see him grab 5th gear right there, back down to 4th gear. One thing you have to be is versatile. You saw Denny run up the racetrack a couple laps ago. Now he's on the bottom, and Reddick lets him go. See how light his hand is right there off of turn 2? Because when you get to the 3/4 mark or the corner right there, the car wants to rotate on its own at that 3/4 mark. You have to anticipate that and then baby that throttle up off the corner to not let the car slide, but to try to get that right rear hooked up.
Oh! Kyle Busch in the wall. And a bad day gets worse in a hurry.
Really has been fighting. It looks like the right front is down.
Yeah, and we saw it was like lap 106 in the fall before we started having tire trouble. And you see that right front tire coming apart. So these guys all will get more aggressive, and they're going down on the apron on those restarts.
Now we're still green. No caution.
It's a very good point. No caution. I think he's going to get around here, too. We got SVG around off of 4.
He had just passed Bubba Wallace. He spins it around, gets going, and that will put us under caution for the second time today at lap 94.
Townsend, there was your horse. Sold him too early.
Must have had help.
All the tires are around. All the tires are up on this car, but a huge break for Kyle Busch.
Yeah, that's going to keep him from going 2 laps down.
Sure,
he's already
the fence, SVG.
Yeah, Kyle's already 2 laps down.
That car's is still not running. Oh, the right front's down, but I think that was up when it came around. I think he may have slid the flat spot in that. Yeah, there's both tires are down now.
Yeah, he was running 13th, so he was having a great day.
It's on the engine protect page. What do I do?
Just try to cycle power here.
Yeah, when it goes into that engine protect mode like that, you know, it spins around and has something that makes it shut off. You have to turn the power off to reset the ECU to get everything working again.
Up near the top of the screen, there is SVG running 13th.
That's Kyle Busch going into the wall.
Excuse me.
Yeah, that right front tire just went down on that car.
And there you see SVG up on the top side. Just comes right around on him. High on the racetrack.
Yeah, and when you're running that top line like that, you just have to baby the thing up off the corner. And it looks like he just lost it right there. Oh, no.
Got a tire down.
Yeah, he's got a tire down right there. That's why it's always great that we have these in-car cameras. You can correct when you're wrong, but you can hear the tread off of that tire actually hitting the crush panels in the car. So he had a tire issue right there.
Yeah, you can see when it went so fast. It went a lot faster than you normally see, just a kind of a slow, lazy spin on this type of track.
And you also saw him off the pace.
Yeah.
That's a tell-all sign. We got trouble here. What's going on? Finally, it comes around.
So James and Townsend will be busy next Sunday on Fox when the IndyCar Series roars into the streets of Arlington, Texas in the race around the stadiums. That inaugural race will begin with a star-studded Texas-sized party. And the Java House Grand Prix of Arlington next Sunday, 12:30 Eastern, only on Fox. Another street circuit.
Another street circuit. First time we're doing it around the stadiums there. You see Scott Dixon, 6-time champion in the IndyCar Series, 2008 Indy 500 winner. But we're so excited about this one. The Jones family very involved, very into it. Anything down there is going to be exciting.
Yeah, you got the Cowboys, you got the Rangers. We're racing around both stadiums. It's going to be a huge event. And this guy could definitely factor into the mix come Sunday there. You know, he's been preparing probably for 8 months for that race. A king of preparation, Scott Dixon, one of the best of all time.
And you guys know what it's like. Whenever there's a new racetrack, every driver thinks they're going to be the one that figures it out first. So right now, everybody's very excited.
Like you in St. Pete.
Exactly right.
So SVG brings out the caution, but earlier today, signed at fire suit for Scott McLaughlin. They did a suit swap.
And these two guys, they've been competitors for a long time back in Australia in the Supercar Championship. A lot of respect between the two of them. A lot of hard battles on the racetrack. This is a cool moment to see.
Very nice.
I want to see it again.
All right, pit road's open. Regan.
Well, Ryan Blaney, you see peeling off in the 12 car there. Felt like the rear tires stayed a little better that time. For short runs, needs a little bit more turn. In the 45 of Tyler Reddick, every time he touches the throttle, he feels like it's stressing the rear tires too much. Jamie?
Christopher Bell pits from the lead, says, I'm good, don't need anything, but my pedal was getting to be a little bit fade-ish, falling off just a little bit. Same for Joey Logano. He said his pedal was getting a little bit long later in the run, but he fired off better, so that air pressure adjustment on the first stop helping.
Bell beats Logano off pit road, or did he? That was very close at the yellow line.
A lot better pit stop for the Penske guys that time.
And
both of them.
Brad Keselowski gets the free pass. First car 1 lap down. There's the race to the yellow line. Give it to Christopher Bell. Kyle Busch into the wall, and then SVG spins and brings out the caution.
Next week, NASCAR rolls into Sin City to test their luck. The O'Reilly Auto Parts Series kicks things off from Las Vegas on Saturday at 5:30 p.m. Eastern on CW, followed by the Cup Series on Sunday.
One to go before we restart. Ryan Blaney had to come back to pit road. He had a loose wheel.
No! Say it's not so.
So he will restart back about 28. Bubba Wallace too fast exiting pit road. He will also start in the back.
And those are just detrimental mistakes to the rest of your day. Not only does it take you out of the stage 2, but it just makes everything harder to have a chance to win this race. We saw Bubba Wallace work his way to the front, and Ryan Blaney was in the front.
So Blaney will come from 28th on the restart. They chose as they went past the line, Bell and Logano. Inside, outside on the front row, Briscoe and Reddick. Gibbs, Byron is the first Chevrolet in 6th. Into the restart zone. Christopher Bell, the control car. Joey Logano grabs a gear, and boy, they're even as they head for the dogleg.
Good start on the outside for Joey Logano.
Yeah, and on the outside like that, you're just waiting to see when that guy breaks to the bottom so that you can stay right on that door to try to side draft him. And Joey Logano has kept himself in that position as we get to the exit of turn 2. He's still going to be there.
Whoa.
5 wide. For a moment,
Chastain almost got turned around. Comes Briscoe. These Gibbs cars mean business, making a ton of grip on these long runs.
Well, and starting up front, they've been able to fire off pretty good too, and that is double trouble for everybody else that's been up front so far. The 22.
Oh, big pile up here.
Suarez, unfortunate there. Started 4th.
Had a great day going. Was 7th at the end of stage 1. His best stage result here. And he is the last car left up there in turn number 2 as we have the 3rd caution of the day.
Yeah, you saw Chase Elliott involved as well. You see some damage to that left rear quarter panel where it's got up against the fence.
See them roll around here. Just gets loose right on the inside of, I think that's Keselowski up in it. Was that Elliott that he got in on the outside?
Yeah,
but just got loose down on the bottom on the apron all by himself.
3rd caution of the day in Phoenix, turn 2.
Yo, Hootie, you in here, bruh?
Yeah, I'm probably about to dip.
Yeah, I was just getting on there to tell you I'm probably gonna hop off too. I'm gonna get into bed. But I'll probably be on tomorrow.
All right. Hell yeah.
Later, brother.
See ya.